mysterious, intriguing, and often illuminating. These are worldwide folklore tales. There is a popular legend behind the large white cross that has stood on the edge of the top of Maiden's Cliff in the Camden Hills for more than a century. It was believed for many decades the cliff received its name after a heartbroken woman threw herself from the cliff, distraught over the loss of her lover. But this romantic tragedy is not at all what really happened. Long before Lincolnville Beach was known by its name, it was known as French's Beach, named after its founders, the French family. On May 6, 1864, the youngest daughter of Zadok French, 12-year-old Eleanora, and a few of her siblings joined a group heading to the top of the cliff for a picnic. In a detailed account given by Eleanora's sister years later, she said she believed that while her back was turned, a gust of wind blew Eleanora's bonnet off her head. Eleanora reached for it, not realizing how close she was to the edge. She fell 300 feet down and survived the fall. But it was hours before rescuers could reach her. There were no visible injuries to her. She didn't have any obvious broken bones, but presumably her internal injuries were very, very severe. Unfortunately, Eleanora did not make it through the night. As the years passed, Eleanora's story still lingered in the Camden-Lincolnville area. It touched one wealthy tourist in particular, inventor Joseph B. Stearns, who decided the young girl shall never be forgotten. He paid for the first white cross to be erected at the edge of the cliff that has remained a marker on Maiden's Cliff to this day. With ghostly sightings of the young girl around the cliff being reported for over a century, this might just be one of the most haunted hiking trails in Maine. This disturbing tale allegedly took place 25 years ago at an old abandoned well in the town of Sabattus, Maine. The exact location of this well is still speculated. However, we can bring you to the general location of where this mysterious incident took place. One day, a trio of preteen boys came upon an abandoned well behind an ancient barn at the far end of a long-forgotten cemetery. The area was known to be haunted and therefore prompted a dare. The boys dared each other to go down into the uncovered well. Only one of the boys accepted the challenge, eager to impress his friends. His friends, giddy with excitement, found some rope laying around, as well as a small tire for the kid to sit on. They lowered him down into this deep, dark well until they lost sight of him completely. That's when things became eerily quiet. The boy in the well wasn't saying anything, and there was no movement on the rope. With haste, the two boys pulled their friend back up and were stunned by what they saw. The boy's hair had turned pure white, and his appearance was that of a haggard old man. He had aged decades somehow in the few minutes he was down there. When his friends were able to pull him onto the ground beside the well, the boy began laughing maniacally with dark and wild eyes, and he trembled with terror. When questioned about what had happened down in the well, the boy responded with gibberish. He had apparently lost his mind and gone insane. According to locals, the boy was never the same again, his condition incurable. He was sent to the county institution to live out his days as an asylum patient, where, many say, you can still hear him screaming from the windows. Further north, in Aroostook County, the town of Haynesville was settled in 1828. By 1832, a road was completed connecting Haynesville and a military post in Halton for easier transportation of supplies. Before the major highway was built, this road was heavily used by trucks carrying Maine's potato harvest out of the state. The road is known today as one of the most haunted roads in Maine, as a great number of truckers have died along that stretch of road. This is no surprise, given the treacherous nature of the road. Buried deep in the woods, with low lighting and hairpin turns. One night, a newlywed couple were traveling along a stretch of this dangerous road on a dark winter night. The story goes that the groom was drunk and lost control of the car, hitting a telephone pole, which killed him instantly. The young bride survived, however, and after crawling from the wreckage, she made her way back to the snowy road. There, she waited for hours for someone to drive by and help her. The bad weather conditions that night meant nobody was traveling, so the woman never received help. It is reported that she has remained in the same place in her wedding gown where she eventually froze to death. Supposedly, the bride can still be seen wandering along the side of the road, searching for help that never came. Travelers on the road have reported seeing the woman in the white gown outside of the Haynesville woods. Some even claim to have actually spoken to the woman. In these situations, she tells the driver about the accident, but as the vehicle approaches closer, the woman suddenly disappears. Some drivers report to have felt a bitter chill in the air as she entered their vehicle. She directed them to the end of the road, whereupon she disappears completely, leaving behind only a bitter chill.